Third time is a charm, but I will get this done because I'm a hard head. All right, so yesterday I was doing a training with my man Rick Floss, or Rick Ross, or Rick Flair, or whatever you want to call him, right? So we were doing a negotiation and closing training that I do with real estate investors. I've been doing it for a long time now. A little backdrop on me, Victor Bell Jr. I've actually been investing in real estate for the last 20 years. That's 20, right? So my specialty has always been creative investing. I always, for one, because when I started, I didn't have any money. I didn't have any credit. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any contacts. I didn't have any rich family members that can hook me up. I didn't go to college. I didn't have all these contacts that everyone else did. I literally had to get a job because I was on probation because I got busted from selling drugs, and I had to do something. I read a book from the store, and that started my 20-year journey. And after that first year, I did $1.2 million in real estate, right? So the reason why I was talking to Rick about this, and I was like, bro, check this out. There's about 4 things that make all real estate investors successful, right? That typically is not taught. So here's one of the things, and I was like, dude, I think this is going to be the crux of all the business that I teach, right? I think everybody should know this right off the bat so they can really understand that how to real estate is different from what to do, right? So the how part and then the what part. So here's the what part. Number one, you need to be first in people's minds. The number one thing that you have to do is be first in the minds of owners, sellers, brokers, agents, anybody who can make your dreams come true as it relates to winning the real estate investing game. I know everybody says, let's go build a team. Let's go to the title company. Let's introduce ourselves. That's great. But if you have nothing to talk about, you're just wasting people's time. Spend all of your time on the front end positioning yourself as the go-to person in your market. At one point, especially when I moved to Hawaii, because I bought a lot of residential pretty houses in Hawaii, I committed to being the go-to we buy houses guy. I put out over 1,000 signs. So if you only had out 100 signs, 50 signs, 200 signs, there's no way people were going to know who you were, because my commitment was about being first in people's minds, because I knew that if you thought about we buy houses, you were going to think about me. If you wanted to sell, you're going to think about the number you saw on a sign. They're everywhere. And that was mine. So that was number one. And I was telling Rick about that, so now I'm sharing that with you. The number one key thing that you need to do as a skill is recognize for yourself, get your mind wrapped around this, make sense of it, however you need to make sense of it. You need to be first, all right? First, because nothing else matters. You need to be the first phone call they make or the last phone call. They shouldn't have to call somebody else because you get the deal done, all right? So number two, you need to know how to buy or die. Like you need sales training. I have a sales training specifically for buyers. I had to learn how to sell as a buyer. I learned how to sell people, influence, get stuff done, have persuasion skills. I really needed to know. Dude, I'm trying to get people with nice properties, apartment buildings or homes, to sell me, to sell to me. Creative financing, no money down out of pocket. I'm not going to go get loans. Like if I get loans, I'm going to bring in partners. Like, can you structure the deal like this? How long can you wait for that money? Can you carry back seller financing? Man, that's a sell. You got to actually go in and sell them on this idea, because the average person with a property is not a real estate investor. They ain't trained like us. So they're just thinking, I bought it with my own credit. Why can't this guy do it, right? So I focus very heavily on learning how to sell. And if you're a buyer and you can't sell because your job doesn't warrant it, you feel it's weird, you will lose this game to somebody like myself who first positioned himself to come to, if you're going to come to me first. Two, now when I get on the phone with you, I know how to talk. I know how to influence. I know how to have a conversation with somebody. I can communicate effectively to say, dude, here's the best thing you should do. And this is why I say you should do it, right? Next, you need to know how to negotiate and close. If you can't negotiate and close, you ain't going to get any deals. You have to negotiate those deals, because there's a negotiation happen no matter what. And let me just dispel a myth. Like, let me just tell you some truth, some hard facts about life, about negotiating in the real estate game. It's not win-win. Everyone says you got to find a winning solution for both. No. I win, you get what's left, and you make sense of whatever's left over for you. Like that's just how it goes. Like, I don't care what anybody says. The reality of it is I used to try to go in and create win-win situations, and those win-win situations I created always turns out to be on the losing end for Victor. And I was like, dude, I got tired of that shit. So I was like, I need to really get good at negotiating. My whole life has been comprised of that. I stopped trying to be a nice guy, and I started getting really good at negotiating. The best story always wins. And if you can't negotiate and close, you ain't getting that deal, period. All right? So, fourth thing, that is you have to understand or you don't have to understand anything. You just need to make sense of this in your own head, however you're at, because I want to help you succeed at this. It's going to take 20 times the effort that you think to succeed in this business than you thought before you even got in it. So if you thought you're going to kind of do a little bit of marketing, you're going to pick up the phone, someone's going to give you a deal for, I had a mail formula already worked out, and this is my ARB, and I was like, hey, you know what, is this the least you can take for your property? And they go, yeah, cool. Once you do that stuff, you get down to the nitty gritty and be like, dude, that didn't work. Now what? Man, this doesn't work, and then you quit. Or if you do make it work, and you have to do it again, and it gets harder every time. It's going to take 20 times the effort to get this done. Here's why I say that. Statistically, if you go to a real estate seminar, you learn how to buy a house, you learn how to buy an apartment building, which is the goal here. Statistics are that only 10% of that room is going to succeed. That means in a room of 500 people, only 50 people are going to actually win. That's ridiculous, and everyone knows it. So what is the difference between the 50 that win and the 450 in that room statistically that don't win? The other people choose to train and do something different. They learn negotiation skills like I did. They learn how to sell like I did, or they came from that background like I did. They are committed to do 20 times more work. But when I say 20 times more work that make that other group better, they just flat out outwork the other group. 50 people did more work than the other 450 people combined. That's how they won, right? And then let's say our situation or my situation, I've been doing this full time. You're going to stop what you're doing and you're going to be trapped at your job from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, or worse, if you're good at your job, 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock, 12-hour days while I'm out pounding the ground, making sure I'm first in people's minds, negotiating contracts and deals and seller financing. I'm selling people on my ideas. I'm already out there. You can't win against somebody who's already committed to 20 times their effort, because that's truly what it takes in this game. So those are the skills that I told Rick, and I was like, dude, everybody doesn't know this, but I'm sharing it with you because I've been in the trenches for the last 20 years, and no one is ever going to tell me different. I got my own antics. I got my own mindset because I know the truth. Not academically. I've been out there. I got the battle scars to prove it. All right? So that said, if you think about those four things, those four key elements, what are they? One, you need to be first in people's minds, because if you're going to buy anything, you're going to have to be there first, right? Next, you need to buy or die. If you don't buy a property, your business is dead. So you got to know how to sell, especially if you're going to do it creatively, right? Next, you have to know how to negotiate. If you can't negotiate and close people on what you're trying to establish and set up that wins for you and it makes sense for them, again, no deal. Last, you got to put in the effort, 20 times more effort than you thought. It's going to take a Herculean, a big-ass amount of effort to get this done. Massive action. That is the difference between massive success or soul-crushing failure in this business, dude. Trust me. And I call it the 20X effect because it's going to take 20 times more energy, 20 times more effort. That's how you win. All right. This is important to me because here's what I believe is coming down the pipe for you guys. The next wave in the market that we see for real estate investors, that's our next opportunity, is not going to come because of raise of interest rates. It's going to come because irresponsibility of people. People are less and less responsible. So when we show up and take responsibility because we know what to do, that's where we're going to make a lot of money. We're going to have all the success we can ever shake a stick at, right? And we're going to create wealth for the first time. I like apartment buildings. I like pretty houses. There's a lot of people who have been riding on the coast. The days of easy money is gone. Somebody's got to roll up their sleeves and get back to freaking work. And I want that to be me, and I want that to be you. You have an opportunity to become financially free, create wealth, have a great working environment, meaning like you're going to have to build a business around this thing, and to make more money that your life, your kids, your grandkids, and your kids, grandkids can never even imagine. But you have to do this, and you have to take responsibility for the future and for the present. And you can't do that if you're just playing the game like everybody else. You're going to have to do something different. So if you plan on winning the real estate game, these four things are going to help you do that. I can help you do that. Call me, private message me, text me, reach out to me, comment on this video. But worst case scenario, right now what I'm doing is I'm setting up real estate seminars in San Diego County and all around the United States is what I'm going to be doing, and having people come to me and teaching them through what I call right now Bell Training Technologies, because it just sounds cool, right? Because I want to go to that. So teaching you these skills and these strategies as a standalone to go with what you already know in your real estate stuff. Because if your only strategy is tying up a property in a contract, flipping your contract, and posting a picture of your check online and saying, oh, look what I did, blah, blah, blah. As the market shifts and people become more irresponsible, we're going to be buying properties from you because you didn't practice learning the skills of how to buy a property in all the different ways that you could. Even in apartment buildings. What if you can't syndicate? You got to know how to negotiate, close your deals, ask for seller financing. If you aren't practicing that, practicing it and really getting good at it, you're going to fail when it's game time. Tom Brady don't get on the field without practicing, and he's great at what he does. So have you thrown enough passes in the real estate game to say that you're at a level where you don't need to get on the field and practice prior? Well, that's what Bell Training Technologies is all about. It's helping you learn these skills, implement these skills, and then coaching you through that way so that way you can dominate the game and get results and success in your real estate business. So this is Victor Bell, man. Trust me. Hey, look, stick to this. I got a TV show that we're going to be running on YouTube. I'm going to be running online. It's called VBTV. I'm going to go over this stuff. I'm going to go over money. I'm going to go over real estate investing. I'm going to go over financing, being financially free, because you're a millionaire don't mean you're financially free. Trust me, I know a lot of millionaires that are flat broke, and I want to help go through that with you because, again, nobody went through that with me. I went through the same shit, right? Not financially free, but I was a multi-millionaire and I had no money, okay? That's wrong. And I'm going to help you fix that because I needed to fix it. I'm going to just teaching you the things that I needed to hear, all right? And I'm going to keep needing to hear them because I'm going to keep growing, and I hope you grow with me. All right, so this is Vic. Let's get this thing done. I hope this is clearer than the last one because this is the third damn time. And if I got to do it 10 times today, I'm going to do it because I really feel, like I told Rick, I wish somebody had had this conversation with me. This actually does help me because I'm doing the same things I'm telling you to do. And if it's going to help me, I know it's going to help you. All right, man, let's get this thing done. 2 year wins, wage war. Oh, wow. I haven't said that forever. Just remember, man, success ain't perfect. Just make this thing happen no matter what. This is Vic. Let's do it.